Hi everybody, and welcome back to Mayhem Bling. If this is your first time stopping by, welcome. I'm glad you came by my channel today. Today I'm going to show you how to create this retro background design using the free Silhouette Studio software and free images from the internet. So you can design for Sublimation using free resources, and that's what we're going to get started with today. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button. That will really help my channel, and if you click the bell icon right beside the subscribe button, that will notify you each and every time I upload a brand new video. If you like this video today, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me some feedback in the comment section below. Tell me what you like about it, what you don't like about it, what you might want to see in the future. I plan on doing some more silhouette tutorials. So here we have just a simple retro background with some fireworks and some text on it. And I'm going to move this over to the side just so we can use it. Whoops. Let me group that all together. Let me move it over to the side just to use it as a reference. And then we'll get started. As you can see, I'm in just the free version of Silhouette. And if you have the designer edition or the business edition, you can still access all three of the versions. If you click on the help button up here and view in, it shows you there that I can look in all of actually there's four: Designer Edition Plus, and Business Edition. But as you can see, I'm in the Standard Edition. So this is just the free Silhouette software that you can design in for sublimation. And then you can print it out on your sublimation printer right from the Silhouette software. So I'm going to click off of that. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is create our background circle. So over here on the left hand side you can see my toolbar. We're going to click right here and click on the oval. That's going to let us make a circle. So in order to create a perfectly round circle, you're going to select the oval. You're going to hold down on Shift, click and drag your mouse, and it's going to create, you can see I've got 9.24 on one side and 9.24 on the other side. It'll create a perfectly round circle. You want to let off your mouse first and continue holding Shift down, because if you let off of Shift first, it will go into an oval, not a circle. So there we have our circle, 9.246 inches. I'm actually going to drag this corner. Actually, click on the arrow button up there first. I'm going to drag this to make it a little bit larger. And so now we're a little over 10.25 inches. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is divide this into sections. I've got 5 sections here. So we're going to use our knife tool. That's over here on the left, the very bottom. You're going to click on that. Up here at the top, I've got a solid line. I've got it checked that it's straight. I do not want it to auto apply, so that's unchecked. And what we're going to do, we're going to come down not quite a third of the way, and we're going to do a straight line. Now in order for the line to be perfectly straight, once again you're going to hold down Shift, you're going to click your mouse, and you're going to drag over the circle. You're going to let off your mouse, let off Shift, that's where you want it, you're going to click Apply. And there we have our first section. And we're going to repeat this 3 more times. So we're going to go right here about the halfway point, Shift, click on your mouse, drag across, let off your mouse, let off Shift, and click Apply. We're going to go down just a little bit further, making this section not as wide as the section above it. Shift, click, and drag on your mouse. Let off your mouse, let off Shift, and Apply. One more time. Actually, I think I'm going to do 2 more sections here, so it's going to be a little bit different than the example. We're going to click Shift, click on our mouse, drag across, let off your mouse, let off Shift, click Apply, and then one more time down here, Shift, mouse, let off your mouse, let off Shift, click Apply. So this one's going to have one more section. Now, we need to have the division in between the sections. So we're going to click on the little arrow button over here. That just takes us back to our select menu. We are going to select all of these pieces, and we're going to close out the fill menu. No, actually, we're going to color this in yellow. Then we're going to close that out. Now we're going to come down to the offset button, which is on the right hand side. Looks like a star with an outline around it. You're going to click on that, and we are going to do an internal offset because we want to keep the same round shape, but we want gaps in the center. If you just try to spread these apart to get the gaps, you're going to end up with a weird shaped oval. So in order to maintain the round shape, you've got to do the offset. So we're going to do an internal offset, and you have the option of doing a square corner or a rounded corner. We're going to do the square corner. I don't want it that wide. As you can see over here, this right here is our cut line. This inner is the offset. I don't want it quite that big. So I'm going to reduce the offset until it's the way I want it to be. And just because I've already done this, I know that I want it to be 0.075. So there we are at 0.075. I'm going to click Apply. And now we have the offset. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click on the center of each section. So we're going to click on that center, we're going to hold down Shift, and we're going to click the center of each section until they're all selected. We're going to let off Shift, and we're just going to move those to the side, move that to the side. That is the original circle that we cut. What we have left are the offset pieces with the gaps in between now. We're going to save this yellow piece over here because we can come back, do the same thing as many times as we want to make different colors of the retro background. So now we're going to choose our colors for our background. Now in order to choose the color, as you can see, I just have an arrow if I'm pointing in the middle because that's empty. So you need to click on the line of the section you want to color. Click over here on the palette for your fill color. There are so many different ways you can do this, but in order for me to come up with the red, white, and blue, I'm going to start, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections. I want red at the top, so I'm going to click on red for the top section. I'm going to go to the next section, and I'm going to click on the red right below the brightest red. On the third section, I'm going to click on it. I'm going to click on the third red down. Now on the next section, we're going to transition to the blue. So I'm going to click on that section. We clicked on the third red. Now I'm going to go over to the third blue. That's keeping them in the compatible category in order to transition from red to blue. Since we did the third red, we do the third blue. So we go down to the next section, we go down one blue to the fourth blue, which is lighter. We go to the bottom section and we go down to the very bottom blue, which is lighter. So we've got that darker to lighter red, darker to lighter blue. Alright, now we're going to select all of the sections and we're going to turn off the red outline. So we're just going to click on that little hatched box and that turns off the red outline. Now while we still have everything selected, we're going to hit Control and G and that will group all of those together. And so now you can just move them around and that is the keyboard shortcut to grouping. If you mess up something, all you have to do is hit Control Z and it will undo the last thing you did. So the last thing I did was group this together. If I hit Control and Z, well, that just moved it around because that's what I did last. So now they're ungrouped. They're in separate sections. You can hit Control Z as many times as you want to and it will just keep going backwards, backwards, backwards. So if you get 5 or 6 actions in and decide you need to change something, you can go backwards without having to start over. So we're going to hit Control G and group these together and now we have that. So there's our background. We're going to close out the color palette. Now we're going to find some fireworks. So we need to find some fireworks. So we're going to go to the internet for some fireworks and we're going to go to Pixabay, Pixabay. This is where you can get free images that you can use that all come with a commercial license. So you can just type in the search bar whatever you want, whatever you're looking for, and you can get all sorts of images from here. So I'm going to type in fireworks and see what comes up. So what we're looking for is fireworks that's going to be easily traced, because we're not going to take this image of the fireworks to put on our design. We're going to trace the image. So I'm going to look for fireworks that's easy to trace, and I've already found an image because I was in here looking before I came up with this. So this design right here is going to be easy to trace. It was a design that I was happy with, so you're just going to click on that. And as you can see right here it says free for commercial license, and so we're going to click free download. I never change the size that it just automatically comes up. I just download it at that size. So I'm going to hit download. And it's downloaded. Now when I download something from Pixabay, I always click show in folder. So it shows there. That's my file. I'm going to move it to my Pixabay folder. So I'm going to click move to. And here's my Pixabay folder. I have already done that, so I'm not actually going to put that file in there again. So now what we're going to do is come up here and click on File and Merge. And then we're going to find the fire where we downloaded the fireworks. Mine's right here. I'm going to click on that and do OK. Now, We could just use these fireworks like that, but that's not what I want to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to trace them. So we're going to move them off over here so that we can trace them. So we're going to come to the little butterfly icon, which is the trace panel. Click select trace area, and then we're going to draw around that. Now, as you can see, the area that's going to be traced is yellow. So we need to get some more yellow in here. So what we're going to do is come over to the threshold, and we're going to raise the threshold until all of those fireworks are yellow. So let's just go to 90%. That looks like it's all of them, and then we're going to click trace. Okay. Now, that's our trace. We can click on the original image that we imported and hit delete and get rid of that. Alright, so now we need to color these fireworks in. As you can see up here, they're red, white, and blue. So we're going to close out the trace panel. We're going to click on the color palette. And we're going to click right here on Gradient Fill. We're going to click on Advanced Options. And here you see several different colors. There's 4 different colors in this one. You can change these colors. So I'm going to click on the black, going to turn it into red. I'm going to delete this red. I'm going to turn this yellow into white because we want red, white, and blue. I'm going to scoot it over, and then I'm going to click on this white, and I'm going to turn it blue. But now you can change the color of the blue by clicking on a different blue in here. But I'm going to stick with this blue. And then you can change where you want the white, if you want more red or if you want more blue. And so I think I'm going to have my white a little above halfway. So I'm going to be showing more red and then white and then less blue. Okay? So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to click on my fireworks to select them. And I'm just going to move the center white, and if you'll notice down there on my fireworks, it is starting to fill in the fireworks. And so I can get this where I want it. I think I'm still going to have it just a little bit above midway. And so there we have the fireworks colored in red, white, and blue. Now, you can add this to your palette. For some reason, mine's been being a little crazy and it hasn't really wanted to, but there all I did was click on the plus and it added it to our gradient fill options. So that will be there later for you to use if you wanted to use it again. Okay, now, because we still have this outlined in red, it is looking a little wonky. I'm going to stretch this out and open it up a little bit. I don't want everything outlined in red, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this fill panel out, and I'm going to come up here to the top to my line style, and I'm going to make my line outline in yellow. To me, that just gives it a little bit of a glow. And I'm also going to rotate these colors because I don't want them red, white, and blue like that. So we're going to come back over here to our fill pattern. We're going to go to our gradient. We're going to go to our advanced options. And down here on the angle, I'm going to lower this angle. And if you'll notice, it's rotating the colors on the fireworks. And so I'm just going to keep clicking until the fireworks are colored the way I want them to be. And I know from my practice that I want it to be minus 100. That way I've got the yellow outline everywhere. I've got the red on the bottom, the white in the middle, the blue on the top. Actually, that's 105, but I think I'm good with that. So now what we're going to do is just move these up onto our background. I'm going to close out this color panel and slide this up so we can see the whole board. I want those to be bigger. And as you can see, this one is a little bit more yellow than my example. And that's just because I chose a different yellow for the outline. I think in that original one I chose the very softest yellow, and on this one I'm on the second one from the bottom. So if we do the softest yellow as the outline, you can see that it's softer. So we'll leave it like that so that it comes closer to matching. And I'm just going to stretch that out a little bit more, and I want to rotate this, so I'm going to grab the little green circle up there and just rotate it some, and then I'm going to move it over a little bit to the side. I think I might stretch it out just a little bit more. Actually, I might stretch it out. Yeah, I think I'm good with that. Maybe stretch it out a little bit more on this corner. Okay, yeah, I'm good with that. So I'm going to click off on that. And all we have left to do is put the text in. So what I'm going to do is click over here on my text, click up here, and I'm just going to type in U, hit enter so that it goes down, S, hit enter, A. I'm going to click off and then click back on. I want to fill this text in with the darkest blue, and I'm also going to outline it with the darkest blue, but I'm going to change my font. And so what I did was I went to dafont.com, you can download these fonts they are free for personal use. Now if you're going to be selling a design, you absolutely need to purchase your fonts first and foremost. We don't want to be getting in trouble for selling designs with a personal use font. This is just for, learning purposes, showing you how to do designing with free resources. But I am saying if you are going to sell these items, you need to purchase fonts that have a commercial use license. Again, if you're doing this for your family, you're making a shirt as a gift for your daughter, you're making a shirt for you to wear on the 4th of July, this is perfectly fine. But if you are selling items, you must purchase commercial use licensed fonts, Please, please, please pay attention to that. So I wanted something vintage. So once I'm at dafont.com, I just typed in the word vintage and just started scrolling through the vintage fonts. And I came to Vintage Fair. I liked it. I clicked download, and again, you'll notice right here it's free for personal use. So please make sure that you're only using it for personal use. And then you're going to do whatever your system requires for you to do to install your font. Okay? So now that you've got your font installed, you're going to select your text. You're going to find your font over here in the font window. Since I used that earlier, it's right there for me. I'm going to click on it and it changes it to that font. I'm going to have to make it bigger. And I want to close the gap in between the letters, so that's going to be my line spacing. So I want to decrease the line spacing a little bit. And I think I like that better. It's closer together. We're going to make it a little bit bigger and then drag it down and check the sizing and see if that's the way we want it. And yes, I think that's the way we want it. Let me click off of that, take a look, and I'm just eyeballing where I'm putting these things. Now, as you see over here, the fireworks is going on top of that, so I could stretch out the fireworks to make the fireworks be a little bit larger. So I'm going to do that. I'm then going to right click on the fireworks and bring to front. That gets the fireworks a little bit on top of my text over here. I think that looks good. Now I'm going to just draw around all of the things, hit Control and G to group everything together. Now everything's together. You can move it around, you can size it, resize it, whatever you need to do. And there we have it. That's how you can use free resources, free silhouette, free fonts, free images from Pixabay in order to design for Sublimation in Silhouette Studio. I'm going to move this one over to the side just for one more thing. I told you to save this little yellow circle from the beginning. So now we're just going to draw a square around it, bring it back over to our mat. We're going to close out the text. We're going to come down here to our offset, which is the star with the border around it. We're going to do internal offset. We're going to just back that off and do 0.75 enter. That's giving us the exact same amount of offset as we had on the first one. We're going to apply it. We're going to come up here. We're going to click off first. We're going to click on the center. We're going to hold shift and we're going to click on the center of every panel. So they're all selected. I'm going to move that off to the side. And here we have the beginnings of our next retro background. Okay, so this time I'm going to choose the colors for my background just a little bit different. I'm going to click on the color palette. I'm going to click on advanced options. And here you have all of the color examples. I'm going to make this one blue, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up here with the first one in the far upper right corner, and I'm going to click. Actually, I'm over into the purple, but that's okay. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to click on my next one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a diagonal going down through the blues to get my gradient. So you can see where I clicked the first time. I'm going to move it a little bit down and a little bit to the left, and that's going to be my next color. I'm going to click. I'm going to go a little bit down and a little bit to the left for my next color. I'm going to click my next section. I'm going to go a little down and a little left, trying to go about the same distance each time. I'm going to click on my next section. I'm going to go down and a little left for my next section. And my last one, I'm going to go down and a little bit to the left. Now I can come up here, select them all, turn off that line color, hit Control and G to group, and there we have our next gradient background for you to design whatever your heart desires. So I hope this tutorial has been helpful. I hope that it's taught you some stuff. This is titled for sublimation. As you can tell, you can absolutely use this for vinyl. The only issue with the USA design I did, it would be a little tricky with the different gradients in the fireworks, but you could absolutely do the USA and the background in vinyl, and then just choose a different firework. Maybe one firework is red and one is white and one is blue, whatever you want to do. There's a little bit different design technique that needs to be done in order for this to be used as an SVG as far as the firework design goes. I will come back later with another tutorial on how to do some designing using this retro background and doing it as an SVG, that you can use it with your cutting machines in order to make vinyl t-shirts instead of sublimation t-shirts. So if this video was helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Please give me your comments in the description. I hope you've subscribed to my channel and hit the bell notification so that each and every time I upload a video, you'll be notified that it's there. I will be bringing some tutorials in the near future as to how to do this vintage retro background to be used as an SVG for vinyl, for you to make t-shirts out of vinyl. There's a little bit different technique involved there, so please stay tuned for that. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, hit the bell so you can get notified every time I upload a brand new video. Please give me your comments in the comment section below. Let me know if there's a video tutorial that you would like to see in the future. And with that being said, thank you so much for stopping by today, and I will be talking with y'all soon. Thanks, y'all.